Hello everyone! Welcome back in again to one of our bite-sized session going over Business Central or BC. If you've been following along for a little bit, you know I like to call it BC, but it is Dynamics 365 Business Central, which is a bit of a mouthful and it does have many names depending on who you're talking to. But for me throughout this, I will be calling it BC. Now these are our bite-sized kind of introductory pieces to Business Central just to kind of get you a little bit more confident and a little bit more ready to start using it. And so we are only going to be covering, very simple things to start off. And today we're really just going to get something really quick, really simple. We're going to talk about vendor creation or creating a vendor within your business central, ecosystem, I think is a good word for it, right? So we're going to add a new vendor to our ecosystem. If you've been following along, you know that we've added customers to the ecosystem. We've added a bunch of different things like sell quotes, sell orders. So we're going to talk about adding a vendor to that. Now, depending on your role, does depend on what these look like for you. You might have something a little bit different, a little bit more, but you should be able to hit the hamburger menu here and find it no matter what you're looking for. So business is right here under home, right? Currently mine says like business manager, but you should be able to find it somewhere within one of these if it's shaped a little bit differently. But for me, it's hanging out right here in this little top area. So I can click onto vendors and I can see who I'm already technically currently working with. And if I wanted to adjust how that looks, the same thing if you saw our customers, it kind of works the same way. You can choose this little section over here, the view plane, if I want them in a list, if I want them in a tall tile so the images are really bright forward and center, because maybe I see this better visually, but I prefer like the standard tiles that it comes with because I like to see the image, but I also like to see a little bit of the information. It's just easier for me to read, but it's up to you and how you want to view this and what it looks like. Fully up to you. But we're just going to go ahead and launch into creating a new vendor for today. And we're going to hit the plus new button that's between the delete and the analyze. We're going to click this guy. And right here we have a bank to bank or vendor person. Sorry, I should have said company or person first, not bank to bank. And basically what that means is company is, of course, a company you're working with. It could be a Fortune 500, it could be a mom and pop, it could be, some sort of trucking company, it could be an aquarium company, it could be whatever it is that you're currently working with. A vendor person or a contact type person, that tends to be a consultant of some kind, like maybe you're consulting an engineer or you're consulting a social media manager or something of that nature. Depending on what you're working with, you should know how to categorize them, but both of these will use the same process. But we're just going to go ahead and click into company for today. Hit the OK. And right here, you see the asterisk. That all that means is that you have to fill this out. That is the main thing within Business Central. Now, I do also want you to kind of pay attention, if you're able to, that as I start typing in, up here, you're going to see the save, say saving, then saved. It's because it's using a type of cloud-based saving, so there is no floppy disk icon, there's nothing you have to save. It is just saving automatically as you're inputting new data. Now I can change the number, or I can let it default. This is up to you. If you have a specific organization system that you want to implement, or your company does, great, that's fine. You can even put in text here if you'd want, like instead of having an ID number, you can put in text. That's completely fine as well. But first off, we have to have the name of this vendor, and we can say this vendor is Aquarium Pals Laugh a Lot, because why not, right? That sounds like a good vendor name to me. If they're blocked payment or all, great, you can add that in. Any sort of balance they might owe, balance as a customer, things that, as you're adding this in, I feel like you should be able to find that out as you're talking with the customer. You need to know addresses, where they're located at, phone number, any type of contact information for this vendor, homepage if they happen to have a website, a Twitter page, an Instagram link, maybe a LinkedIn, something of that nature can be added there. A contact, so whoever is the contact you're going to be reaching out to within the vendor, same thing with their email, right? You want to make sure you have their name, so when you are reaching out, it's more personalized. Over here, you can upload a picture of the vendor. So if they have a picture, like a profile image, maybe they only have a logo, maybe they have some sort of image for their products that they're kind of using, just to give you an idea of who they are. Absolutely. All you have to do is click into it to upload. If there is any sort of tax issues, right there, tax area code is going to pull from a list of cities. Currently, we have just a couple here, so I'm going to say they're from Chicago, even though it would make more sense that they were from Florida, right, with it being an aquarium. So never mind, they're from Florida. We're just going to quickly change that, right? But if I needed to change that again, that's fine. Maybe they picked up and moved to Chicago for some reason. Who knows, right? But for right now, added them in as Miami. Down here is like the application method and payments. The standard is 1 month, 8 days, but if the vendor needs it to be paid differently, that is up to you. You have like a whole list here: cash on delivery, current month, net 30 days, net 60s, but it's always going to default to the 1 month and 8 days, as that tends to be the standard most people use. But you could be working with someone a little bit different, right? And you do have those options. The drop down menu is always going to give you more options. And then there's a bank, conversions, cash payment, card payment, right? It's all up to you and how you're working with this vendor, or how your company wants to approach doing payment and vendors and things of that nature. But other than that, that's really it when it comes to creating a vendor. Now, if I no longer needed this vendor, maybe we're not working with them anymore. Maybe I put in the wrong type of vending information and I don't want to go back through and change every little thing. I can just delete them straight from the cuff by hitting the trash can right here. If I wanted to open this in read-only mode, that is what the little pencil icon is for. And if I need to share this within my company environment or to somebody else, that is the share page for other users or even other applications. And that's really about it. When I hit the back button, we can see Aquarium Pals Laugh a Lot hanging out right here with the subcontractor and raw material supplier, nod publishers, first up consultants, right? You have a bunch of cool opportunities and things that you can add here. And I feel like it's pretty easy peasy to learn and get going as well. You saw it didn't really take me that much, but I didn't really have a lot of information to input either. So, depends on how fast you type, or it depends on all the information you have. But we at least have something, and I can always come back to it and edit and add things in. So if I do end up getting their phone number and their email like a proper employee should, then I can come back and add that in, and it's hunky-dory and a-okay. Or sometimes they switched contact information, they switched like email information. You can always come back through and edit the contact card at any time. So don't feel like once you've input something in that that's it, it's locked in. No, you have the opportunity to come back and adjust things as needed. And that's really been about it about making vendors. I hope that you found this nice. Once again, my name is Nee, and we are doing bite-sized pieces for Business Central. So if you have any questions or concerns, please put some down below so we can reach back out to you. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you all.